Next up, she's bad. Everybody loves her, especially you guys.
Well,
We've got Psycho Pink herself from Power Morphicon. And Angie Diaz is currently doing a photo op right now, but she will be back. So yeah, Mystic Force Pink will be here too, so watch out for that. I did talk to Jessica Ray. She was put on the panel schedule earlier. She said she tried to pop in. No guarantees, but if she gets in,
next door, but
she's next door at the Wild Force panel, yeah, scheduling, but we will make it work. So, we've got two awesome, lovely Pink Rangers here, and well, first I want to start with one general question. Are we or are we not overdue for a male Pink Ranger?
Yes, why not? Definitely.
So true, we are.
Yeah, okay, so let's get...
Is it going to be you?
Yeah, I could be. Would you guys like to see me as a Pink Ranger? I could be a Pink Ranger, yeah. Alright, so let's get started with some questions here. So Christina here does have to go, so we're going to start with her here, and then I'll take a question from the audience. 2 questions, then an audience question. So, Christina, you have the ability to morph into every Pink Ranger as part of the legendary Ranger mode in Super Mega Force. Was there a particular Pink Ranger that you looked up to that you wanted your character, Emma, to morph into?
Yes, of course. It would be the original, the one that I grew up on, Mighty Morphin, so it became really hot. Yeah. But, you know what? I would also love to morph into a Psycho.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a really great answer here. So the next question that I have for you is, your character, Emma, was sort of the glue that held the Mega Force team together. And she's also a photographer and a nature lover, so she has hobbies. Was there anything about Emma as a character that you got to contribute to, or was she already written that way? Did she play her as written?
Yeah, I played her as written. She had a lot of great hobbies, as you said, and abilities with her BMXing. So there was a lot of fun things that I got to play with as Emma.
Yeah, and you had a pretty great dynamic with Gia, the other Ranger that season. How did you and Sierra play off of each other? You know, having 2 very positive female role models on a show like Power Rangers. How was it to play opposite her? And did you do anything to show like, hey, we gotta be good role models for the kids out there?
Yeah, of course, great question. It was really easy to play off Ciara because we became instant friends right away. So the friendship on the show was also behind the scenes. It was a real friendship, so we didn't really have to do much acting. But we did have one really fun scene where we got like hypnotized, or there was a spell put on us, and we had a fight in the scene. Like there was like a battle between us. There was a lot of arguing, and it was actually the funnest scene to shoot with her because it was so opposite of us, and it was really hard to not laugh. And actually, the crew got really upset with us. Well, not upset, but they were like, "Okay, guys, you got to get it together," because we couldn't get through any of the scenes because we couldn't stop laughing because we were having so much fun. Yeah, but yes, they were both really great role models, and we both. Hi.
So we got Mystic Force, yeah. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for Christina? How about you over there?
Hi, my name is John, and my question is for Christina. I'm sorry for both you and Pete. It's like Psycho Pete pretty much was able to lay hands on both Pink Galaxy and Pink in space. Do you think Super Mega Pink would give Pink Psycho a run for money, or would Psycho Pink be able to handle anyone she's directed?
Let me just repeat the question so everyone knows. So he asked, would Psycho Pink be able to take on Super Mega Pink? And just so y'all know, she can transform into any ranger up to that point in her season. So she pretty much has all the Pink Ranger's powers. Psycho got
I agree with him. I think Psycho for sure would have it, and they wouldn't have a chance. I mean, that's my feeling.
I mean, you do look like you have some secrets, like up your sleeve.
It's true.
They put up a good fight.
Psycho, I feel Psycho.
But it'd be a good fight, right? It'd be a good fight. They put up like a pretty good effort.
Oh yeah.
I think we've got time for either one question or two quick questions. Pink Ranger in the back, right there.
What inspired you to join the Power Rangers show?
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. Thank you. Well, when I was little, your age, I saw Power Rangers Mighty Morphin on TV too, and I looked up to them when I was a child. So that was inspiration enough to join the team, to be to be a role model to kids as well, to people. Yeah. Thank you.
We can do another question here. Another Pink Ranger right there.
Hi again.
I got to become a vampire.
That is so
It
cool.
was the most fun. I had so much fun playing that. I think the Pink Ranger can go either way. They're a little
You
spicy.
guys were both kind of bad.
Well, no, I was only back for 2 seasons. Yeah, and then the other Ranger saved me. It's fine. So it's good. It's good. Chick to the rescue. Hey, it was a lot of fun. I have to say, I really enjoyed the storyline with my character, and I think I just love the fact that there was so much fantasy around Mystic Force, and so we got to kind of, I got to become a vampire. So yeah, it was great fun.
I'm really jealous of both of you guys.
And she did that before Twilight, so Twilight copied her. So we've got one more question for Christina before she has to go. So anyone with a question for Christina? Mystic Force Green, what do you got?
For me, I grew up in a very conservative town, so I learned respect for leaders by connecting to all the leaders.
That's great.
So my question is for any of the young watching Power Rangers, what would you want their takeaway to be from watching the Rangers and watching all the characters?
You know what you learned would be great if everybody could take that away, and boys could take just what you said away and learn that from Power Rangers. I think that would make a huge difference, right?
Absolutely. And that women can be strong and powerful and in charge and all of those things. That's such a wonderful story to hear. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. No, that's such a great, yeah, that's great. I think which is really important which I thought was really refreshing with Power Rangers, and I know it's for, the age is aimed, like 7 to 12, maybe a little bit older, but I never felt that Pink Ranger in my season was sexualized in any way. She was very free to be herself, and a lot of girls saw themselves in her, in Vida, as the tomboy, as slightly crazy and stuff, and with really great male relationships. I think that's really important. That's a really great thing that Power Rangers does, that there are these kind of interpersonal relationships that are really fair and equal. Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Christina has to take her leave now, but we get a huge round of applause. She's awesome. She's great, isn't she? Go Mega Force, yeah. Super Mega Mode. Okay, so we got our two Pink Rangers. Rangers here on the panel. So Angie, this one is for you. I asked Christina a similar question, but you also had a interesting dynamic with another female Ranger on your show. So Angie, remember that question? Well, you played a sister alongside opposite Melanie, who was originally scheduled to be here, but she couldn't make it. But it was really cool to see two sisters very opposite of each other, very, very different from each other. How was it to, play sisters alongside her?
It was great. I mean, there wasn't too many episodes where you could actually see us as sisters. I think the first one was kind of rock solid, and then you did see a moment with Maddie when I turned into a vampire. So we really had to kind of we really relished in the times when we could really honestly portray that sisterly love. And I think you can attain to this as well, is that it means so much to us as the character when we can actually imbue that character with real feelings about what is going on. It's what happens behind the suit that's a lot of the real magic. Yeah, that's the basis of these characters. And so I think Mel and I were quite close. We were great friends. We're actually both Filipino as well. So there you go. So we grew up kind of very similar background in Australia, and we really connected with that. So we had a lot going in that was very similar, and I think it just grew from there. It's really lovely.
I really loved how both of you were both similar, but also very independent. Yeah. Vicky, I've got a big question for you. So, a lot of the fans here know, I'll explain it anyway, she got to come back for To the 10th Power and in Lost Galaxy, as well as Power of Pink by herself. And it's really kind of a loaded two episodes here, especially because the back episode was written for Lost Galaxy Pink, whose actress Valerie Verdon, who played Kendrix, is unfortunately diagnosed with leukemia. She's totally okay now, and that's fantastic. That was a very, very, from what a lot of people said, the behind the scenes, that was very strenuous. Were you privy to that at all when you came on to do that?
I actually wasn't, not at all. Not when I was asked to do it, and at the time I had no idea. It wasn't until later that I found out.
And looking back at it now, how does it feel to, because this is one of the most emotional and honestly craziest moments in Power Rangers history, and for you to be able to help enable Valerie to take time to take some time off for to get better. How do you feel being part of that?
Of course, I mean, I'm moved by it. I feel like I had sort of a place in all of that, and it makes me really glad to know that she had that time. But it's interesting, I didn't know at the time at all. I don't know exactly why I didn't know. I don't know what the reason was. I still don't know, but I found out afterwards. And so glad to have been able to be a part of that.
Yeah. So, Angie, you were just in the diversity panel right before this. So you might repeat some information here, but I want to answer some questions. One question for me. Is Vida gay?
I was just telling about this question. And I was going to say that this is the question that comes up a lot, and that's the question that I really don't like to answer, because I don't want to define her in any which way. But if we're going to have to put something there, I think I would say that Vida is pan, and I would say that she happily resides in a rainbow. It is a kick-ass rainbow.
I just want to say, Angie, you've got a shot. You've got a shot.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Vicky, your character, she didn't have a human form, and so your co-stars did from the rest of the Psycho Ranger team. well, one, did you get to be on set at all, or did you, were you strictly in ADR? Were there any conversations for you to appear?
No, I wasn't. I was strictly in ADR, and unfortunately, I didn't get to appear in human form like some of the others did. So I unfortunately didn't get to do that.
Can you still do the psycho pink voice?
Oh my God, we are evil.
Okay. Well, I wanted to open the floor up to some fan questions here. So, does anyone have any questions for Vicky and Angie? All right, you have your hand up first. Yeah.
So my question is for Angie, the Force Ranger. During your season, you never got a chance to have a team up with either the SPD Rangers or Operation Overdrive. If you had the opportunity to team up with one of those teams, which one would you pick?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh yeah, that is a good question. Because I was like, I wanted to do a cross collab with the whole Disney era. That could be fun. But I honestly think, I think SPD Pink and Mystic Force Pink would be one hell of a show. Because we are so completely opposite, right? That would have been really fun to do. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, that would have been fun. That would have been really fun. We got any questions over there, you?
If you were to, this wasn't for psychopathy, if you were to destroy every other Green Ranger from any season that wasn't a part of your season, who would you destroy?
Who would you take down? We're gonna have to come back to that. Well, yeah. How about Cosmo?
No, I'm not.
Did you read the comic?
I have not read the comic. And I would like to read the comic.
If someone has the comic, give it to her.
Someone just gave me the comic today. So, I did not know that. Somebody said that. Okay, thank you. No, Korea, I love it. Great.
I didn't know the anagram part. That's cool. Yeah. How about you behind Cosmic? You had your hand up for a little bit.
I'll change my question to think back off the question over there, but for Psycho Pink, instead of destroying a Ranger, you had to recruit something Rangers to be all the Ranger squad. Do you take maybe 4 Rangers from the past OG?
I think I would automatically be on.
She would be on the team. And I feel Christina might be on the team too.
Well, she has every other Pink Ranger's power, so you kind of have to have her.
I feel like, I know, I have to have her. Who else would it be? Oh yeah, and the OG. The OG, of course. Those 3. That's it. That would be a perfect team, right guys? Perfect team.
So before I get the next fan question, I wanted to ask this question because it's very pertinent to Vida's character. If you could be any other Ranger, what would you be?
Red Babes. Actually, no. I wouldn't. No. In my universe, in my Power Rangers, Pink leads. She doesn't become red, she leads. Red is her second in command.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Okay, yeah, so actually, no, I wouldn't be any other color. Yeah.
How about you, Vicky? Any other one?
I mean, I don't mean to steal the same answer. I wouldn't want to change either. I mean, come on. Pink, that's it.
Pink's pretty cool.
Pink's
You know,
it.
sorry to butcher a Mean Girls quote here, despite it not being Wednesday. On Sundays, we wear pink. Yeah. Let's take another fan question. In the back there with the hood. Let me repeat that question. I'll make sure I got it right. So you're asking, given what's going on with some of the fan series, I know there's a Power Rangers Extended Universe going on. I know Patrick came back, Psycho Red's actor, for a little fan film. Would you be willing to come back for that?
I totally would be willing to come back. Yes.
There's a Mystic Force fan film. How about you, Angie?
I would totally come back.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Who loves our fan films? Yeah.
That would be so fun.
And any other questions? How about you?
something years and still.
I know where she's asking me that. We had a fun chat the other day, and I was telling her that that it is sort of exciting that I was the first to kill a ranger. That would be, and in character, that is my proudest moment. In character.
So thinking about that, what was your proudest moments, as a character?
Oh, goodness. As a ranger? The proudest moment as a ranger. Okay. Yeah, oh, look. I think for me, the proudest I was really, and this is not just a character, it's also like playing the character, was when we got to fight in Darkwish. Without the suit, not even in our uniform, we were like back there fighting. That was real. Like that was the first, like we had to fight for that to the writers to actually allow us, and they wrote Darkwish because of that. Like, yeah, we want a big fight scene, all of us. We're gonna get real dirty. It's gonna be real, and it was great. So that's one of my proudest moments.
So both of you are actually two unconventional Pink Rangers in that you're not the typical idea of what a Pink Ranger would be. Vida was a bit tomboyish. She had her own interests, and she did her own thing. She was a very free spirit, and you're a villain. What's it like, being two unique kinds of Pink Rangers?
I think it was really freeing, to be honest. I think it was really refreshing that Vida could be exactly like how a lot of girls are, or a lot of boys. It didn't matter. She was just herself, and she didn't have to be kind of, in a mold of any kind. So for me, it gave me some really cool storylines. So that's the thing. I think it's fun when there's a bit of controversy around you.
Right. Any other fan questions? Let's in the red back there.
Okay, this is for Psycho Pink.
Okay.
If you wasn't the Pink Ranger in Psycho, would you take over and just take over the whole Psycho Ranger fight? Like you the number one.
Yeah, when I was 5 years old, one day my parents looked at me and said, one day you're gonna
If you wasn't like you like the boss of the Psycho Ranger.
We should be the leader this time.
Like this lead.
Absolutely, I would be the leader of all of them, for sure.
I feel like the Psycho Rangers would go full Game of Thrones and try to overthrow each other.
Totally.
That's it, but strong body.
How about you in the green back there?
I actually have one maybe for the Mystics. I remember one time before I used to watch your movies, you had to say like the whole magic words backwards during a long line in your guys' movie. That was just something that made it surprise me, and that's what I wanted to bring up.
I think there's a...
Same with the magic words that you said from the episode. I remember that when you were saying it backwards, like the mystic lords, like the mystic lord name, like you're like, please, it's magical. I think like they got said it in reverse. I was like, that made me so confused when I watched that.
You actually had to learn a lot of interesting, words and phrases because you had spells that season. Do you remember a few?
Chip said most of the spells and so did Donna. I don't think they said many of the spells.
One or two.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah?
But I'm sorry, I
Pretty fun.
don't really remember that.
No, you're good. They need
I just remember that from like the Red Leader, like the Red Ranger, like the Red Leader, like you guys had from your series. That's what I'm saying, because I remember that a lot of times.
Yeah.
I've just always thought, they released, Harry Potter spell books. Why not a Mystic spell book? I'd buy that. You guys buy that?
We did have the Xenotone.
Yeah.
The Xenotone, which was really, and it was a beautiful big book. It actually was beautiful.
I think I saw online that someone actually had like a screen use problem in there. Sold it. Yeah, it was on Twitter like a year ago or something. Yeah, really cool. Any more questions? Over there.
And I'm back.
Hi, I want to you brought up a couple times in this panel and the last one that you kind of had to push for some things in the writers' room. So I'm just kind of curious, Vida being as tomboyish as she was, did you get some influence over that, or was that a plan, or was it a little bit of both?
Okay, so, no, actually, it's quite interesting. So, the writers who created like the characters and stuff. The character in Vida was, when I auditioned for her, yeah, she was modeled on the role of, I don't know if there's alien fans here in the crowd. Yeah, so she was like Vasquez. Yeah, so that's it, but then we also had to have life, Vida. So as well as being like this kind of like hardcore, yeah, I'm gonna get ya, let's go fight. She also had to have a lot of love and a lot of life in her and a lot of joy. And we found that balance, when we all got put together as rangers, we had to kind of like mix and change around to see what was the right dynamic. So it made sense for Chip and Vida. Our characters kind of just went a little bit more on the zany side, you know. She was cool, but not too cool. Because Red Ranger was really cool. You know how Red Ranger's always really cool? Yeah, sometimes a little too cool. Yeah, and then Green Ranger tries to be cooler. So we already had that going on. And then Blue was just so lovely and beautiful, you know, so, and caring and protective. And yeah, so I think it became like a real collaboration with the writers as to how tough was she? How badass was she? Well, she was badass, but she couldn't be mean. Yeah, she couldn't be cold, and she couldn't be kind of like, She had to be a little crazy, which is fun. I think I brought that though. I brought that, the crazy.
I want to give Pink Ranger in the back another question there.
So these are for both of you guys. If you guys were to make your own, if you guys were to make your own, how would you make it?
If you had to make your own costume, is that what you asked? Yeah.
For both of them.
Not that assumption.
Boy, if we had to make our own costume, what would we do?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good question. Huh. You know, boy, I loved the look of the costume so much. So maybe I would bedazzle it a little bit now. Kind of use sort of the same framework of it before, but maybe I would just zhuzh it up a little bit with some bedazzling maybe, you know what I mean? And add a little bit of some shininess to it. That's what I'm thinking I would do for Psycho Pink.
Look, it was really fun. Mystic Force, we got to have capes, which was great. Who doesn't love a cape? To be honest, I think honestly, this is what I would do. I would ditch the white tights. And I wasn't really into like the skirt. So I just go with the cape. Like, I wasn't really into that distinction with the girls, with the skirt kind of thing. Yeah, but our legendary force is really cool too. So, like, with the big kind of like shoulder armor, you guys have seen that. So, yeah, I would ditch the skirt, lose the white tights, just all pink, plus the cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. More questions? All the way in the back.
I wasn't approached to do any crossovers, and I'm not gonna lie, she's a little pink dirty on it, because I would have loved to. I think it's fun because I don't think Pink gets to do many crossovers. I don't know. Like normally it's like, well, but I guess it worked with Xander characters going over into Operation Overdrive because he's totally like Plan Xander. So I think, yeah, Team Xander. That's right. So that worked as well. But I would have loved to have done a crossover. I really would have. Thank you.
Who here would have loved to see Angie back?
Oh, yeah!
Mystic Force Pink versus Psycho Pink. I'd watch that. Only on Netflix. Any more questions?
Vida in vampire mode.
Ooh. Now we're talking. Do you have any producers out here? All right, let's keep going. go to the questions. Mr. Gorse Green again.
So, with like Cycle Peak, we got to see what it really means with too much peak power. Like, too much peak is dangerous. So for Angie, if you got to have a moment like that, like really showing the true power of peak, what would you have wanted for that moment?
That's a tricky question. How would I like to have seen that moment play out?
Yeah, just kind of like that overwhelming power. Because like with Cycle Peak, we saw that it's enough to kill a ranger.
Yeah.
So, like, how would you have wanted to show that kind of like if you got that opportunity to have like an overwhelming amount of peak force?
Oh, no, that's fine. I would have just like killed all of the Tanteros except for Matumbo straight away.
We love Matumbo.
Matumbo is my boy. Yeah. But yeah, that's what it just be. I think like it would be in tornado form and it just would have been like this massive hurricane. And I'd be like, thank you.
So speaking of Matumbo, where do you think Vida is right now, and is she still hanging out with Matumbo?
Yeah, totally. I reckon they got their like own club together somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like he's like, you know, like master of ceremonies and stuff like that, and then I'm up on the decks. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Yeah.
They were the best of friends. Yeah. I see that you have a question, and we'll get you after, right? You've also had your hand up for a while.
Okay, my question for you. There were a couple of battles in terms of there were a couple of episodes we saw kind of back and forth between Nick and Vida. Do you think that was more just because it was like Vida was like more persistent of Anderson, Vida maybe saw it, and then it was like Nick, it was kind of that outside thing. She just didn't like how they were approaching the team or something like that. Just want to get your thoughts on that kind of dynamic, even though it was short.
Yeah, no, that's a really great question because it was written like that, but also, so actually, funnily enough, Ferris and I are really strong personalities, and so it's not far out of the, like, we just have really strong opinions together, really strong energy on set, and I think they were really looking at that, and there were episodes when we did butt heads, and both Vida and Nick, as characters as well, were really headstrong. And it kind of got, you know, at the end of the day, like, Vida is the one that questions Nick. Are you giving up? If you remember, like in the final episode, she's the one. Says, are you giving up? Like, and she's so disappointed. She's not just disappointed, she's angry. She's angry because she didn't sign up for this. Like, move aside, step aside. You know. Yeah, definitely. I think in the writing we got to see in rock solid is the fact that she was super protective of her sister and she didn't want anyone saying anything about her. And then also, yeah, I think you're right. There might have been a little bit of like, you're into my sister, I don't know if I'm okay with that. But I think she comes around at the end, right? When it's, okay, this is cool, this is fine. But yeah, definitely, yeah, they had to figure it out together. In the end.
And you've got a question.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are both great examples of playing with the spectrum of femininity and being peak creatures. Did you feel any sort of pressure trying to be like being the peak creature and I think with the spectrum of femininity falling more side on the like social stress and stuff like that? I think both, like I said, like you guys are both good examples of ones who didn't do that, but if you feel any pressure and like when you're looking at the script just being like, oh, this is, you know, typical early acting, you don't want to do this. And what was that like?
Well, I did because what was so fun about this character originally that I thought was so interesting is usually I had never been cast as a scary, evil force of any kind. So it was very freeing. The lines of Psycho Pink and the character of Psycho Pink, and just because she could be so extreme, and just playing that sort of huge range to the other side of the spectrum was really, really fun. So at no point did I feel, and that was part of the excitement. I didn't have to do any kind of damsel in distress of any kind. It was sort of completely the opposite the whole time.
No, I didn't feel that anything was too feminine. Vida wasn't written that way. What I will bring up though, open that door. And this is actually like exists, like it's not just, it's actually probably on a lot of the female rangers, is that there is more pressure for you to maintain your form, physical form. There are, it's true. Like that is what's noticed more. You're told ahead of the boy rangers, like, you know, whether or not, hey, maybe you want, you know, and that can be quite confronting. Like, and that wasn't just my season. I know there were other seasons and stuff like that, and that was very much a time when that happened. Like you're all equal, but you weren't, because we were still very much about, well, you know, the guys can look like that, they're fine, but the girls need to still adhere to a certain aesthetic. Yeah. So, which is, I'm sorry, it's really hard to be strong and skinny. You know, that's it. You want to be strong. Yeah? You know, like thicky nicky thighs and booty in the back, and I don't care. Like, that's the way.
So I've got a question then, as just to piggyback off of that. You two are both actresses, and you've worked on Power Rangers, and maybe other similar things as well. But how has being on Power Rangers and having that experience kind of helped you as actresses, whether it be as women in the industry or as people who are role models to young girls and boys? How has being on the show informed?
I think being on the show has, and also coming to Morphicon, one of the big takeaways is never underestimate the power of what you can do in the stories that you can tell and be a part of. And that's what comes back to me even years and years after doing Power Rangers, is the power of that story and what it has meant to so many people when they share with me their own personal journeys, and how, either, like, you would have this too, like, which season was their, like, first ever season. There's a lot of people here that Mystic Force was their first season, and that's so cool. Or it brought them back into the Ranger kind of, into watching Rangers. And for me personally, as an actor, it is really about that, acknowledging that power and the beauty of that and the generosity. Also, just as an actor on Power Rangers, was also about, like, actually believing, like, just, you know what, you just have to believe that monster is there, and it's gonna get you. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's really fast turnover, so it shoots really quickly. You have to be on your game, you have to be fit, all of those things you're working with, like, you're working with fight choreography, you're working with, like, and you really want to do a good job too. So it makes you really good. It's almost like athletic acting.
Totally. Similarly, I would say I learned how to fight on the show more than anything else. That was the biggest takeaway as an actor. I really learned how to fight well, the sounds of fighting, the movement of fighting, all of that. And little did I know that just in the last long while of my career, I've done a lot of fighting in different movies and video games and stuff like that. So I learned all of it on the show, and I've got to do it a lot in the last several years, which has been really fun and exciting. This is the first con I've ever done, so it's my first
Let's give it up for Vicky.
I've just been so moved and touched by meeting all the different fans and hearing how this show, the seasons of this show has meant so much to so many people. So it's been a really special weekend. And just to know, the first series impacted me so much, and just to hear how it's impacted so many of the fans has really touched me. And it's been so lovely to meet so many of you. So thanks for having us. It's been really great.
I can vouch for a lot of the fans here. Many of us were gushing when we found out you were going to be here. Yeah. You are one of the last few second rangers, I think, to come out to one of these two. So it was very exciting to get to meet you. Psycho Yellow. Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah. But it's very exciting to have you here. So welcome. Yeah. Angie, is this your second Morphicon?
Yeah, this is my second Morphicon.
Yeah. That brings wonderful actors and actresses like Angie and Vicky here to Power Morphicon. So really give it up for yourselves as well, because y'all really so let's do some more fan questions. Who else has a question? Red Ranger.
Both of your characters have
it says both of you have multiple forms. You have your regular form and your legend form, and Angie and Vicky, you have your Psycho Ranger form and your monster form. So, which one's your favorite?
I go with legendary. That staff is awesome.
It's really cool.
It's
the
really
line
cool.
staff.
Yeah, and also the helmet, like it's like epic.
Very big.
Yeah, very, very.
I would go with the original form. I think just because I loved the whole thing, the power of the costume in general. So I'd go with the original. Even though maybe the monster would be a more fun answer, but the original is the truth.
Save it for a rainy day, Yeah. You got a question, yes.
If you had to, this is for Psycho Ranger, if you had to choose any other villain to be your leader instead of the strong one, who would you choose?
It's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I were to give my opinion here, she really didn't like having a leader, so I don't think she'd really get along with any villain, if I'm being real.
I think he's right. It's true. I would just keep myself solo.
Yeah.
Just that thing. Yeah.
Because Estrada tried to use them, and she just straight up told Trakina, no, not happening. She went off on her own. Yeah. Cosmic, you got a question.
Yeah, so you guys have been actors for a while, your friend. You guys own a lot of your merch now?
Oh no. No, not at all.
I don't either. I don't either.
Oh no, I have a couple. I have a morpher. No, I do have some toys. They were given. My daughter has them now. Well, she had them. But not too much.
Vicky, you got a Lightning collection figure
I know.
a year or two back.
I know, and I don't own it myself, and I would like to. So that is on my list.
Yeah.
Yes. I've seen it though many times, and I love it. So I know it is great.
I own it.
It's great. I'd have to own it.
You got a question, yeah.
Speaking of your own merch, since you're in did you take anything from set for some other reason?
Ooh, I love this question.
No, the only thing I took were my vampire teeth, but yeah, I don't know if I can put them on eBay. Disney was really strict with us. The first thing, literally, it's in your contract. Do not touch anything. Do not take anything. We will hunt you down. Like they were really full on about that, and I was like, what? What do you mean? What am I like? Okay, we won't do anything. You know, I got to have a couple of like bits and pieces from Vida's like characters. Wardrobe, but in terms of any of the Ranger stuff, yeah, no. Like we literally, the morphers were taken off us as soon as we used them. That was it. Like they had like morpher wranglers on set. They're just nope, thank you. You won't be. Yeah, It was intense.
Yeah, I'm such a rule follower. Nothing, sadly. Nothing. I'm just such a rule follower. I wouldn't have dared, but boring answer. True.
That's what keeps you having a job, though. So you got to take care of yourselves first. Any more questions? Back there. Yeah, so the question was, when you got to see your characters and then put on the costumes, what was that like? And that's on the assumption that you saw what your character, what the suit looked like before you got to play it.
So much of what I did was in ADR. So when I was voicing the character, I got to see the costume and the character ahead of time, the whole thing, and voiced it to picture. So it was really cool to see it because it gave so much of sort of the fuel to what the voice should sound like. When I auditioned, I did not get to see it, but when I was actually doing it, I did get to see it.
Have you ever suited up?
I have not ever seen that, no, sadly.
Let's get her a costume.
So, funnily enough, I have one of the first tattoos that I ever got is actually very similar to this. So when I first got to see the symbol, I kind of went, oh, wow, okay, this is a little strange. And I kind of, I was taken aback by that. When I first put the costume on, I'm not gonna lie, and you guys who cosplay know this as well, it is not that comfortable. It is not that comfortable. And we had to wear, there was triple layers of spandex. Yeah, so that the suit sits really tight and really firm on you. And it was quite amazing. It's almost like, for me, I think the suit didn't, when the first time I saw it, didn't suit the character of Vida, because she was I was wearing collars, and I was had my Converse on, and I was just super comfy, and I had lots of chains and stuff, and then I'd get I'm in the suit, this is really hardcore, But for me, the biggest thing was actually seeing when I freaked out when I actually got shown the symbol of the Pink Ranger and going, oh my god, that's literally my first tattoo ever. So that was it.
So we've got time for 3 more questions. So let's try and make them quick. Back there, you. Hi. Yeah, there's not been a male Pink Ranger in the US. In Japan, there has been. It was CGI. Let me repeat the question here so everyone can hear it. We had a question earlier in the panel whether we were overdue for a male Pink Ranger, and this is a legit fair question. Would it be right to have a male Pink Ranger, as Pink really is a symbol of femininity, and there have been lots of strides in order to push the boundaries of Pink Rangers in the last 3 decades of the show. Would you say we're all for it, or what are your thoughts on that?
I really think that has to be driven by the fans and by the base. Do you know what I mean? When you speak loud enough, they do listen. That's absolutely why. I think that's really important. We're in an age, as I said before on the other panel, that we ask these questions. We can actually ask these questions. We are really questioning how we see the world. I would love that there was a pink male ranger. I don't think it matters. Do you know what I mean? I think, and particularly if you identify them, pink is not just, what's so wrong with being feminine?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll say, I think she's actually been roaming around the con, Lisa J. She started a podcast called No Pink Spandex, and it's very famous in the fandom, but it's all about why there hasn't been a male Pink Ranger yet. And I know a lot of people in the community, especially those who are LGBTQ+, we love pink. Pink is a great color, and I think no matter what, pink suits anyone. If that's your color, rock it. You got a question.
So you are cycled in.
I don't be so sure about that. Hang on a minute.
I mean, my bet would be on Psycho.
I think I'd give you a Rocky and Rocky.
She would give me a run.
Yeah. It'd be a pretty gnarly battle, I reckon.
All right, we got time for one more question here. Who wants to ask the final question of the panel? Ooh. Jin, you got the last question, Jin.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you.
Jin has had a question. Just kidding, I love you, Jin. We're friends. You just want to raise your hand. All right. Oh, you've got a question. Do you have a question? Yeah.
Yes, of course. To be honest, the couple other times I was invited, I just wasn't available. That's really the only reason. And this Pasadena happened to be in my hometown of LA, so it's very exciting. So I'm so happy to be here, and I plan to be here again. So really, just because of availability, that's the only reason. Yeah.
All right. Right before we end this here, tell me if this is too much to ask, Angie. Would you be able to give us some more? A magical source mystical.
Okay. Yeah.
This is your photo op. This is photo op.
Yeah. She can project.
She's an actress. She can project. It's all theater.
Alright, ready? I didn't have my GoPro.
Use your phone.
Use my phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a photo of the show.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Magical sauce! Mystical!
Vicki Davis, Angie Diaz. Let's give them a round of applause. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for coming. And enjoy the rest of the Power Morphicon. The Green, Black, Blue Ranger panel is happening next, moderated by my good friend Christian Antoine over there. So please stick around for it. Thank you for coming.